This is Rabbi Aaron Boxt from Temple Beth Shalom in Ocala, Florida, back with my podcast for this week. I want to talk about something today that really is high on my list these days, and I would say probably should be high on everybody's list, and that is self-care. And what I mean by that is the ability to take some time every day or every other day to allow yourself to catch your breath, to pause and think about and reflect upon whatever is going on in your life, in the lives of the people around you, in the world. Because let's face it, there's a lot of really nasty stuff going on in the world these days. A lot of angst and anger and frustration. And of course, I'm not talking about in the United States, or I'm not talking about in Israel. I'm talking about everywhere. So yes, of course that includes in our country, and that includes in Israel. But it's everywhere. People are just angry. People are just full of contempt and angst and fear and all kinds of feelings that are draining, are exhausting. One of the conversations I have with my wife all the time, I shouldn't say all the time, probably at least once a week maybe, is that I yawn a lot. And she doesn't understand, because I sleep like any normal person, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, whatever is needed, different days, but I'm always yawning, no matter how much sleep I've had. And I expressed to her that my job is not physically demanding necessarily, but it's emotionally draining. It's intellectually draining, and it can be exhausting when people come to me, and I have to hold on to the information that they share with me, a lot of which is confidential. And yes, I have to be able to give myself the opportunity to take a step back. When I was a young rabbi, and by young rabbi I mean young in number of years as a rabbi, so maybe the first 2 or 3 years of my rabbinate, it was suggested to me by a rabbinic coach to literally pencil in, or obviously I use a digital calendar now, so put into my digital calendar every day 15 minutes of meditation, or some kind of self mantra, or some kind of something that would allow me to stop everything else that was going on around me and just dedicate that time to myself. And sometimes it was just closing my eyes and setting an alarm so that if I happened to fall asleep, the alarm woke me up. That did happen from time to time, but sometimes it was writing in a journal. Sometimes it was reading a psalm or a prayer. But the point was that I was taking that time to give my body the chance, my mind the chance to re-energize, to rejuvenate, to pause. And this self-care was so important, because if we don't take care of our bodies, we don't take care of ourselves, that only hurts us health-wise. Our bodies are extremely resilient internally. And if we take care of our bodies, they're resilient. But if we don't take care of ourselves, we're still resilient, but not as. I think of, one of the problems that we have in this country, of course, is obesity. And for some people, taking care of their bodies, taking care of themselves means going to the gym, or riding a bike, or working out, or going on long walks, whatever that physical care is. But there's also emotional, spiritual, intellectual care that's necessary. And for me, that has always been something that I really stressed, was this ability to just reflect and think. And for me, that's writing, or that's just sitting down and listening to, some kind of soft music, something that's slow and quiet, like Enya maybe, perhaps. Or I'll listen to Jewish music sometimes just to clear my head. But these are ways in which I have intentionally taking care of myself. Now, granted, as I get older, I'm having to physically change the way that I approach the world as well, with, watching the foods that I eat, drinking more water, doing more physical activity, whether it's walking or riding a bike or whatever. But all of these things revolve around the idea of self-care. If we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to just pause, then we can burn ourselves out. Consider, if you will, someone who is taking care of a sick family member, whether it's a spouse or a parent or a child. That requires a lot of energy, physically, intellectually, spiritually. It requires a lot of just pure energy. And if you're taking care of someone who is ill, oftentimes it's a 24-hour day job or 24-hour day responsibility. And for the people who are doing that, they still also need that self-care time, that 15 to 30 minutes every day, or however long they're able to do it for. I'd say at least 15 minutes. That gives them the opportunity to stretch their minds, stretch their bodies, and allow their bodies to re-energize, rejuvenate, and allows them to reflect on the things that are important in the world, in their world, important to them. If we don't take that time for self-care, it's truly detrimental to our health, physically and otherwise. A lot of people that I have met over the years, when they come to services, they're not really there for the same reason as maybe the other people are there for. Meaning, some people come to services to pray, to engage in the Friday night Kabbalat Shabbat service. Some people come, believe it or not, to hear the sermon. Some people come to hear the music. And some people come to clear their minds. They take that hour or hour and 15 minutes or whatever, and they just allow themselves to be. A number of years ago, I was in a service, and someone's cell phone rang. And while it was shocking to me, I continued with the service. And I noticed it, but I didn't say anything at the time. After the service was over, I noticed that the person whose phone had rung was being confronted by another member of the congregation. Not like physically, but they were talking kind of loudly. And the person that was doing the confronting was upset because they come to services to get away from everything else. And when someone's cell phone rang, it brought them out of that extra space and brought them back to reality, and they were distracted. And it was a perfect example of the outside world getting in the way of our ability to self-care and reflect. I talk about camp all the time, and one of the most important parts about camp, or most important aspects of camp, is that the kids are away from technology for 4 weeks or 8 weeks, depending on how long they go to camp. That's so valuable for them to be able to have that time with their friends, just to be in that environment and not be distracted by outside. If we do that as kids, we should certainly do that as adults. Because as kids, we don't have the stresses and the worries in the world necessarily that we have as adults. Now, obviously, I'm generalizing here. But the point is that self-care is so important. So, take some time today, tomorrow, every day to just think, reflect, and give yourself a moment to reset, to stop what it is that's going on in the world and just allow yourself to be. That, I think, will be beneficial to you as it is to me, and I think that all of us could in the world would do better, would have a better life if we had that ability to escape, even for 15 minutes every day. I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.